Whenever somebody asks me how old I am, they always say, "You 34. Girl, you don't got no kids yet? You ain't buy a house. You ain't settled down yet. Where's your husband?" Mind your business. Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. So a lot of people always wonder or have this idea of where they believe you should be at 35, and that's pretty much just up to you. You follow your own pace. I've been making myself a priority, which is why I'm probably not where society says I should be, but financially I'm straight, career-wise I'm straight, mentality-wise I'm straight, physically I'm straight, so I don't understand what the big concern is about, and I've been able to get to those sacred places by making myself a priority. So by making myself a priority, there were certain steps that I followed, okay? And I really believe that these steps will help you as well. So if you're in your 30s and you're looking for a peace of mind, I'm just gonna share with you some of the things that gave me a peace of mind. But the first thing I did, of course, is keep God first. You always have to keep God first. Prayer, meditation, whatever your form, whoever you worship it, okay? I myself, I'm a Christian woman, but I believe in you worshiping whatever God it is that you serve, if any, and if you don't, meditation works as well. I believe in prayer. I pray in the morning, I pray before I eat, I pray at night. So it's pretty much a consistent thing for me. And make praying a thing in your household. Like, make your house a praying house. Get down on your knees with your family, pray together. Teach your spouse to pray if he doesn't already. Teach your children how to pray. My partner calls me every morning to pray. So I just believe that's one thing that really helps me get through. So making prayer a priority in your home is what has helped me get through this 30s transition, because it truly is a transition. You don't have to wait until you go through menopause. 30s is a transition that is well before menopause, but it definitely puts you through some things. So also leading others in prayer. You don't always have to pray for people at home when you go to bed at night. If you see something that needs to be prayed about immediately, pray upon it with them. And if you're not one of those people who are outspoken prayer, then just make sure that when you walk away, even the slightest, "Lord, I ask you to lay your hands on them," is a prayer in itself. It doesn't have to be some long, lengthy prayer. So laying your hands on people, making prayer a thing in your household, just being a leader and an advocate of prayer is something that has got me through these next things that I'm going to share with you. It'll even get you through hard times. Maybe you have some sort of quotes that you live by. I prefer to live by scriptures. So some of my favorite are John 3:16, John 3:17, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. And I tell myself that in any time that I'm feeling frustrated. Or lost, whether that loss is coming from death in the family, or whether I'm just on my way to work and I'm feeling some type of way because I'm running late and I'm in traffic. And usually when I want to curse the person in front of me out, I will just say I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me, and remind myself of how calm to be and how thankful to be of life. The fact that we can hear, the fact that we can feel and touch things, the fact that I can smell, the fact that I can taste. I think some of those things are forgotten about, and sometimes we forget to appreciate them. So just prayer and thanking God, or whatever higher power it is you serve, that is something that has helped me get through. And I have my notes here because I don't want to forget anything, so that's what I'm peeking at. Also, go to church. If I grew up in a church, so church is a normal thing for me. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't go to church every week, but I do believe that church is something that, can be very helpful and beneficial, especially if you find the right pastor, because it's very hard to find that perfect church, because I've been to plenty of churches where I don't understand the pastor's word, but it's just like having a teacher. That teaching that teacher's teaching style. So you may not always have found the perfect fit for a pastor, but it is something that you have to work hard at and make sure that your mind is clear so that you can hear. And once you hear whether or not you understand what that pastor is saying or whether you feel he speaks to you, that's a whole other story. But if you can go to church, I know it's like COVID pandemic, so if you're one of those people who are still freaking out about it, which is absolutely fine, you should be, then attend Bedside Baptist. That's the church I've been going to. Bedside Baptist is just my bed, and I turn Joel on. I love Joel. I'm in the Houston area. I haven't had a chance to go see Joel yet, but I am definitely going to check Joel out. And then also, the next thing is deal with your demons. A lot of us don't deal with our demons. A lot of us let things happen to us, whether we've been traumatized, whether we've had bad experiences, whether we're learning how to deal with emotions, or just differences and trying hard to understand why we were dealt the hand we were in life, and sometimes, negating the fact that we were given life itself instead of just focusing on the negative. I dealt with a demon before, and I went through this period of time where I wasn't believing in God. My father was killed in 2007, and my entire life has pretty much been turned upside down since then. And I'm doing really well now, but I went through a bad space in my life where I questioned God and how could you let things happen to me? And why would you let my father get killed? And so my faith had dwindled. And then as time went by, you know how they say things happen for a reason. And I know it sounds cliche, but things really do happen for a reason. And I do know that what I can say is that if my father was still alive today, I would not be the woman that I am. So I like to believe that he gave his life for me to become a better person. And to me, that's the greatest gift any father could give their daughter. So I don't look at it anymore as God took him from me. I look at it as God has blessed me. God has given me this strength, this determination, this thick core that I'll be able to survive anything and withstand any storm. So I will say, just deal with your demons if you can. That can include prayer, that can include meditation, that can include self-care, that can include therapy. And speaking of therapy, actually, the guy who killed my dad, he was arrested, and I was provided with his inmate information. He told us as a family that we could write him letters if we wanted to, and he was open to receiving them. And I remember freshman year writing him letters that were very, very vulgar, really expressed how I felt. I had a lot of anger. I mean, you could literally feel the energy off of this piece of paper, this pen and paper. And I never sent it though. And so when I graduated, I looked back, and over the course of 3 years, I wrote this man 31 letters. And I never sent not one letter. But what I noticed was that I was kind of giving myself therapy. It was therapeutic. I wrote 30-something letters and I never sent them, but when I read the letters and went back, it started out from very vulgar to I forgive you. And I never thought that I would say that to someone who took my dad's life, but it's crazy how therapy really does help. So whatever form of therapy that works better for you to help you deal with your demons in order to become a better woman, I suggest that you do that. It just so happens to be for me that God and writing and meditation have allowed me to become the woman I am today. Not only is it important to pray and be one with God, but let me tell you, embracing them physical changes that come along with that transition, the transition that comes along with being in your late 30s, let me tell you, there are some physical changes. I don't know what you guys are going through, and I would love to hear it in the comments, but I'm experiencing some physical changes, and I'm gonna share a few with you. I'm not gonna say that I'm embracing these changes, but I'm definitely aware of them and knowledgeable of them, and I've educated myself on them to better know as a woman what is going on with my body at this age. You would be really surprised how many women don't know what's going on with their body. It's very important to understand, but I wanna know if some of your physical changes were like mine. So One physical change that I experienced was I started getting breast cysts. I've never had breast cysts before. You know how they tell you to check your breasts every time you get out the shower, and your first question as a woman is, well, what am I looking for? And the doctor always says, you'll notice the difference. You will definitely notice the difference. I mean, one day I thought that was it. I thought I had breast cancer. And I was washing in the shower and I lift my arm up, and I kid you not, overnight, this cyst had to grow because it wasn't there the night before. The size of a golf ball, a cyst. And imagine washing and you run over that bump. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And I just knew that I had breast cancer. Come to find out, it was not tested negative for breast cancer after many ultrasounds and many mammograms. But it definitely was just a breast cyst, kind of like a milk dud, I want to say. I don't exactly remember. But the way they got rid of it was through an aspiration, where they stick one needle in your boob and it comes out the other end of the cyst and they suck it flat. From that point on, they just continue to come back, but I've never let them get that big as it was the first time that I found it. So I done had breast cysts. I'm growing chin hairs. I don't know if my hormones are changing, but I'm looking into getting my chin hairs. I'm looking forward to getting my chin hairs lasered, and my nails aren't done, so don't look at my nails. But my chin hairs look crazy, and it's just about a good 8 of them, and they're leaving blemishes on my skin. Heat flashes. No, I'm not going through menopause yet, but at night I am having heat flashes. I can wake up super wet sometimes, but most times I'm just really hot. I can't sleep because I'm hot. I gotta have the air on, I gotta have the fan on, and I gotta have the ceiling fan on. So I will have 3 different forms of cool air coming in. So I've been sleeping hot. My hair texture has changed. My menstrual is a little lighter, but my cramps have gotten stronger. So a lot of things have changed for me. So I think another part of embracing becoming a woman, because I truly don't believe you are a full woman understanding who you are until you're in your 30s. I feel like in your 20s, you're still learning, and some people learn faster than others. But a lot of things have changed for me, and I don't have children yet. So I'm sure there are a lot more changes to come if God so grants me the opportunity to have my own children. So just knowing your body, understanding who you are becoming as a woman is very important. A lot of women don't go to the doctors. A lot of women don't get the checkups they need. And so that is very important in being able to have a peaceful, successful decade in your 30s. It's very important it's very important to make yourself a priority. Another thing is I wanted to talk about embracing your journey. There are times when I have compared myself to other people and why they have this and why they don't. I even did it growing up. Like, why did some of my friends have both parents and I only had one? Why did some of my friends seem to have more money than me? Why couldn't I have what they had? I always compared myself to other people growing up. But what I've realized becoming a woman is that everyone's journey is different, and everyone experiences ups and downs at different times in their lives. So while you may feel like you're getting the rough end of the stick, everyone gets a rough end of a stick. It just not be at the same time that you are getting yours, and therefore the grass always seems greener on the other side. And also understanding that a lot of the things that I've been through have made me independent. They have made me self-sufficient, ambitious, strong, a believer. I embrace my own journey. My journey, my path, the road that I decided to take is like no one else's. And you have to remember that for when it comes to keeping yourself sane, because it is very easy, especially in this social media world, to compare yourself to other people, and especially when everyone on social media makes themselves out to be this great person who is living the life. But we all know that people put on social media what they want you to see, not what life really is all the time. The next important thing is self-care. Start with eliminating bad energy. I cannot speak on this enough. So if you have friends, have you ever had that friend who has a really sarcastic comment when you say something and they laugh about it, but you know inside they really meant what they said? Eliminate them. Have you ever had that friend where you question their loyalty, or they don't seem to be able to be straightforward with you about how they're feeling? Eliminate them. Eliminate bad energy, whether it be your family, friends, or coworkers. Because let me tell you, family can bring you down as well. Sometimes there are different paths that people chose to take. And as they realize they took some wrong turns, they begin to project that burden on you unintentionally. But when you are dealing with people who have a lot of problems, their problems become your problems. Their stress become your stress. So what you don't want to do is let other people's life stresses become your stress. I've been trying to keep a circle with like minds, which has actually made me have to leave some friends behind. Not because I don't love them, but because we are not on the same journey. You want to surround yourself with people who are doing what it is you want to do. And so if you have these friends who are not appreciating or do not have the same goal as you, they're not going to go as hard in that area, and therefore that causes you to slow down. So I have lost communication with a lot of friends, but not because I don't love them, but because our journeys are different. And so some people come into your life for a season and some for a reason, and you just never know, but embrace them while they're there. And a true friend will understand that you're on your journey. It's those who are not your true friends that get an attitude when you disappear. But self-time is important. Spending time with yourself is probably a top priority. Cleanliness. And there's a lot you can talk about with cleanliness. You know, cleanliness is next to holiness. But what I'm going to talk about is just, of course, cleaning up. Don't go to bed with dishes. Don't leave the house without your bed made. As soon as you get up in the morning, make your bed. And it may all seem minute, but these are really things that make my life seem a little less chaotic, because I hate to come home to dirty dishes. I hate to come home and my bed's not made. And there have been times where people surprise me and say, hey, I'm coming over, and I'm running home real fast trying to go straighten up my house before I get there. A lady's house should never be dirty. It will give you a peace of mind, and it will also allow you the free space to think and for your thoughts to flow. Go through your closet. People are going to treat you according to your appearance, and that's how you want to present yourself. By all means, present yourself however you want, but just know that people see you before they hear you. And although that may not be fair in getting to know someone, it is still just a reality. And so go through those clothes. Get rid of those clothes you can't fit anymore. Declutter. If you have something in there you haven't worn in a year or two, you probably should get rid of it. Of course, unless you have a special occasion outfit waiting for something. But get rid of it. Get rid of it and buy yourself something else. And you don't have to go to expensive stores and spend a lot of money to feel fabulous. The Goodwill has a lot of things. I like to consider myself a professional thrifter, but the Goodwill has a lot of stuff that you can use for yourself. And I'm gonna put some pictures. Matter of fact, here are some pictures. I got this pink dress from the Goodwill. I think it was $8. I got this turquoise dress from the Goodwill, and I believe that this was $14. And I got this from the Goodwill. I got this from the Goodwill, and this, and this. So you can get a lot of cute things at the Goodwill. Price does not matter, okay? Find yourself some different apparel. I wouldn't say new to you, but it's used. And make yourself feel good. Spend some time with yourself. Get to know your body. Know your body type. Know what fits your body. Know what doesn't. Don't be afraid to get measured. A lot of us are afraid to see our measurements because society has us thinking we should all be a size 6. Get measured. Get the clothes that fit. Appearance does matter. Attract the people you want to attract. Keep your car clean. Your car. Listen, it's hard to keep your car clean, I know, but girl, vacuum that out, please. Keep your car decluttered. And I'm not going to say anything about the outside because the outside of my car is always dirty, but keep your car clean. Quick little vacuum. You can get you a nice little vacuum off Amazon to keep in your car, and just try to keep it, you spend most of your time in the car, whether you're traveling, going to work, going to the store, going to meet up with friends, and having that as a cluttered space, it really just does clutter your mind. It doesn't allow your thoughts and it doesn't allow your creativity to flow. And especially, you turn on that music that might get you in the mood of thinking, and then you look around and you got soda cups and cans. Clean your car. Maintenance. Go get yourself some good perfume. You don't have to spend $500 on perfume to smell good. I got some really inexpensive perfume like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I've got, which I think was about $60, $70. And if that's still expensive, Bath and Body Works. Get yourself some spray, just keeping yourself smelling good. Keeping your nails and toes manicured. You don't always have to have acrylic or press-ons to have your nails done, but just make sure they're clean, they're shaped correctly, and that you look like you're taking care of yourself. Keep your hair done. Keep your hair done. If anything, keep your hair done. Keeping your hair done and keeping your nails and your toes done will all play a large role in how you feel every day. So imagine coming home, your nails is done, your toes is done, your bed is made, your dishes is clean, your closet has nice stuff in there that you have yet to wear. You are able to pray and meditate in peace. You're feeling good. That is a good space. That is a good mental space to be in. And is overall, just look like you give a damn. Don't feel bad about putting yourself first, because putting yourself first will allow you to be a better person, not only for yourself, but for your family as well. If you got kids, put yourself first. Your kids are watching you. Your husband sees you. All those things are important. So making yourself a priority is also you making your family a priority. It's nothing selfish about it. The last thing I wanted to talk about was like keeping your mind stimulated. Keeping your mind stimulated. So reading books. I'm actually reading a couple books right now. Do I have them in front of me? So keeping your mind stimulated is something else that is very important. You should always be learning. You should learn something new every day, whether you're just Googling it or reading it from a book. But also reading helps lessen the chances of Alzheimer's or dementia. So always read. And to me personally, I like physical books. I don't really care for e-readers. I like to feel the page. To me, it's all about physical touch and being able to see something and have it right in front of me, and being able to mark your book up, and being able to buy cute little bookmarks, and being able to go to Barnes and Nobles and enjoy a date in there with your boo. So some of the books that I'm looking at that can help you feel good and help you get on track as a woman in your 30s, 20s, or even 40s or 50s is this book called Get Good with Money, and her name is Tiffany, and it's one of the best books that I've read for women, and I feel like she's talking to me in here. She's like, sis, this is what you need to do. So that's a good book. Another book I'm looking at right now is The Poet X, Obama's Becoming. Wait by Megan and Devon. And then I also got something a little different. I got Aisha Curry's cookbook because I want to learn to cook some new things. So like I said, I'm always learning. She has some really good stuff in here too. Like there's some lamb chops in here that she makes, and I want to try them. And I'm gonna let you know if they're good or not. And then I have just a Chanel book that I look through for fashion and more so use it as a coffee table book. But I do like to stimulate my mind, learn new things. If you're not gonna read, listen to a podcast. So not only are you talking about keeping yourself stimulated, but also your vitamins. Like I'm taking some probiotics. I am also taking biotin. I'm also taking vitamin C, vitamin D. And I do alternate those because I don't have them as a multivitamin. I'm taking black seed oil. So just some things to help stimulate my body, my mind, keep me running and rolling every day on a daily basis. Getting an adequate amount of rest in your 30s is important. It's important for anybody, but especially in your 30s as your body begins to make that transition. When you go to bed, turn your TV off. You're not getting rest. Your mind is still subconsciously listening to whatever it is on television, meaning that it's active. You're not resting. Turn your TV off, lay in silence, pray, listen to some sounds on YouTube. Whatever you gotta do, make sure that you get an adequate amount of rest. Light some candles, burn some sage, aromatherapy, and also having a very good skincare routine. And it doesn't have to be all extravagant like you see some of these girls on YouTube who have the skincare routine down pat, and it makes you feel like you're behind. It could simply just be soap, water, a steamer, and a night lotion or night cream or day cream. As simple as that, right? Taking care of your skin is important. One more thing you have to do in order to become the best version of yourself. We all are guilty of this. Leave work at work. Leave work at work. They are not paying you to work at home unless, of course, it's your own business. But I don't bring work home. And I used to do that in my early 20s, even my late 20s. I would bring work home every day, feeling like I had to get caught up or I was going to be late on something. Guess what? If it's late, it's late. And if you're going to fire me, you're just going to fire me. And I know everyone's not in a position to say that, but to me, because of the space that I find myself in and the peace that I have, that job is not my God. My God is bigger than that job. So I don't have to worry about work if I am fully committed throughout the entire day and I use the entire day to the best of my ability and I use all that time to work, sometimes even through breaks. But no matter what, I'm not bringing my day job home with me. Home is my space for me. It will drive you crazy if you don't allow yourself that space and that peace and that relaxation. Ultimately, carry yourself with dignity. Be a lady. You attract what you are. Don't be afraid to put yourself first. Don't let society peer pressure you and rush you into doing something you're not ready to do. Explore the world. If you don't have it already, get your passport. Find a husband. Have multiple boos. Now, I'm not telling you to be sexually active with multiple boos, but get to know people. Explore the type of people you like and find out for yourself what it is that you desire and put yourself first. Self-care. I am a woman in my mid-30s and I'm very comfortable and I'm in a really good space and it took a lot of work to get here. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate you, boos, for showing me support on this video. And the next one won't be so heartfelt. It'll be a little more light, but I just felt the need to get this off my chest.